Tracy Williams Show. Woo! I don't know why, but I always have to do the woo.
I don't know why we did the woo.
I know.
We did the woo.
So today, of course, it's like I said, it's turning into Tracy and the V. We've got Richard the V Vinson. Is it Richard or Ricky? What do you like better? What do you like for the show?
I'm trying to think. Okay, I was always Ricky. So Ricky sounded like a little kid, right?
Right.
I'm 62.
Yeah.
So I'm a grown man at
Right.
62.
So it's Richard the V.
Yeah, just Richard, Vincent, the V, whatever. But Ricky sounds like you're just a little, like a twerp. Anyway, my mother always called me Ricky. So like I go places, I know if you knew me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Hey Ricky.
Right.
Doesn't that sound stupid?
Okay, I'm here with Richard the V.
Vincent. Yeah, or just the V. We don't need the Vincent. Everybody has mine.
And then this time we have my husband, Tim Williams.
We call him Timmy.
Timmy.
Thank you.
He does not. Okay, Tim, you don't like it when we say Timmy, do you?
No.
That's the reason I did it. Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, we don't call him Tim to his face normally. I mean, Timmy
Right.
to his face.
So, anyway.
I don't call him behind your back. He's a call to your face. But anyway, go ahead.
So, let me tell you what happened this morning.
Oh.
Okay, now Rick is a pest control guy, okay? His job is to get rid of vermin. Well, not really. You don't really do a lot of vermin chasing, but...
We do varmints. Okay,
Right.
just real quickly, I've heard
Yeah.
this story. And it's going to be, when you hear it, you're going to go, dumb. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so, you guys all know that I have chickens, turkeys, geese,
Yeah.
ducks. I got it all, right?
Got it all.
So every morning, I get up, and usually it's already daylight, just daylight, and I go out and I open all my chicken coops and I feed them and all that kind of stuff. So this morning, it was a little earlier. It was just starting to get light. And so I go out there, I open the first coop, open the second coop. The third coop is like a storage shed. It's a blue storage shed, we call it the she shed. And I always prop the door open with a shovel. So I go out there like usual, open the third one, put the shovel out there so that the door doesn't close. I go and I fill up one feeder and I turn around and a turkey just outside of that, he just shoots out of the...
What do you do? Yeah. Okay.
He shoots out of the...
Like a shotgun.
Of
Right.
the shed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? I go over there. So I go over there and I look inside this she shed and there's a freaking raccoon in my she shed. It's not even scared that I'm standing there. He's looking at me. So what do? There's a shovel right there. I get the shovel. I do a little Jackie Chan. I'm like, what you gonna do now, mother clucker? And he just looks at me. He's
She
like,
said clucker.
Clucker. Yeah. That's not what I really said, but that's what
Yeah, we're gonna stick
I'm
with
making
clucker.
a little
Yeah, I got you.
child friendly here.
PG.
So I'm looking at him with the shovel, and he's looking at me like, what? Like he doesn't even care, right? He's not crazy. He's not rabid. He's just looking at me like, what you got, old lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there with the shovel, and he's like he's gonna go in and get my chickens right in front of me. So I get him out of there. He goes around on the side of the shed is like a chicken run that's fully enclosed. He goes in there. I'm like, haha, I got him now. So I trap him. I close the gate. He's in there. But then he starts to look at me with his sad little eyes. And he's like crawling up the thing. He doesn't look mean or anything. And I'm thinking about the documentary I just saw this weekend where this lady had her own little raccoon in her house.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, Tim's gonna have to come out and shoot it. What do I do? And then I'm thinking, well, I really want some good karma. So I open the gate.
and let it go. And
This is the stupid part, right?
The stupid part, there's a lot of stupid in this story, but the stupid part is they just borrowed a catch cage
To catch the stupid
raccoon. And of course, I'm all for catching and release because that's my nature. I have that heart,
Right.
that sensitive heart. But if he's killing all my chickens, killing all my turkeys,
So he comes out. I still got the shovel in my hand. He's coming right around to go back into the she shed again, right in front of me. So I take my shovel, boom. He goes bang right into it, like Wile E. Coyote. And he's like, and so then I have to freaking chase this raccoon off. He wasn't even scared at all.
Yeah, that's.
So what did you say, Tim, when I came in and said that?
I was rather surprised. We've trapped coons before. I probably trapped 8 to 10 coons in that pen and dispatched all of them. And so I have. The night before, I went out and collected the eggs, put the bucket of eggs down on the ground, accidentally left them, and the raccoon ate every single egg the next morning. They were all gone. And so this raccoon comes around every night.
I know.
Yeah.
And so
Gave her the
Anyway,
the look, the kind of look.
raccoons got to leave. They got to eat too. So
Yeah, everything's got to eat. But
If you'll just eat the feed, I'm fine. Just don't eat my
that
chickens.
ain't gonna happen. But anyway, that's
So that's the funny story for the week.
kind of dumb.
A dumb, funny story.
Yeah.
But,
What's our camera woman doing? She's like steadying her arm. Anyway.
okay, so we're having Tim on because Tim, if you've seen my Facebook at all, has lost 82 pounds, I think now, right?
Yes.
We started in January. So we
82
wanted to
pounds.
talk to you about that. Show us your pants that you had on, that you had before.
These are the pants that I used to wear. I started January 1 in a size 40, and now I'm down to a size 30. But anyway, I used to wear this, and I have gotten rid of all of my big clothes now. I just literally, and I used to not throw my clothes away when I'd lose weight, and I've lost weight before, and I never threw my clothes away because I was always worried about gaining it back, and I always did gain it back. But this time was different. I think both Tracy and I made a New Year's resolution January 1 that we were going to lose weight, and I had kind of an epiphany right around that time. I just was eating way too much. It was just, I was not going to live if I continued the way I was.
Well, first of all, he's a great cook, and he's a great Southern cook.
And I never denied myself anything to eat or drink or anything. And so, and I think part of it was also, to back up a little bit, back in 2017, I worked for the same company for 25 years in a real high stress job. In August of 2017, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which was kind of a shock. I was 52 at the time, and had radical prostatectomy in December of 2017, and then was rehabbing, was staying at home after my prostate surgery for 6 weeks, like you do, and then I went back to work, and I literally got back to work, and the second day I'm like, I cannot do this. It was real high stress, and I had been doing it for a long time, and there was a lot of changes going on at work, and they were laying people off, and I would have been laid off anyway, probably. So I was proactive, and I just resigned, which was a big step. Was kind of so.
It's kind of scary.
It was kind of scary. It was kind of scary.
Yeah.
So
Who does that? Who leaves their job at 25?
after I did that, a couple of months later, in May of 2018, I quit dipping, and I started dipping when I was a freshman in high school, and quit when I was 53 and 52. So that's a long time, and it was extremely difficult. And I just quit cold turkey. And I've told everyone, we were visiting earlier, if they ever find a cure for cancer, I'm going to start right back up, because to this day I miss it, I promise you. And I think most people that have quit will probably tell you the same thing. But anyway, so fast forward to December of last year, I just had enough.
Well, your blood work wasn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, I was pre-diabetic, borderline high blood pressure. I weigh 258 pounds. I'm 6 foot. And so I was overweight. I mean, I was big, and have always been big. And so we went on the Singular diet, Tracy, and that's a whole other thing, but this Singular thing that she sells, it's a weight loss program. It's fantastic. I won't bore you with that, but If you're interested, you can talk to her. But anyway, it's a low carb, keto type thing. And we just did it for 7.5 months, 8 months. 3 weeks ago, I reached my goal weight, started at 258 and got down to 178 actually. So it's about 80 pounds. And there's no easy way. You just gotta be, when you're ready to lose weight, I tell people you gotta be committed. And if you're not committed, don't waste your money on any kind of weight loss program, just save your money. But if you're ready and you're committed and you're going to do it for the long term and lose weight and keep it off, then, and that's what I did. And I always rationalized before I went on my diet, we had kids, and Tracy and I, we moved all over the state with our jobs, and just really high stress. And I never spent any money or time or effort on my health. And so when I left my job, I had a little bit more time to do that. And so now I do, for the first 5 months of my diet, I didn't work out a bit. Starting May 1st, I started running. My younger brother, he kind of dabbles in triathlons and whatnot, and so he kind of got me interested in that. And so I bought a new bike. I actually bought 2 new bicycles, started running, and since May 1st, I ride about 120 miles a week, and I'm training for my first triathlon, which is going to happen in about 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
And it's not an Ironman triathlon, but it's what they call an Olympic triathlon. So it's going to be a 1.2 mile swim, a 26 mile bike ride, and then a 10K, 6.2 mile run.
Can you believe that?
My goal is to do a half Ironman.
So how do you prepare for the swimming part?
That was the hard part. So I joined Eagle Point. They have a swimming pool there. And so I've been just kind of crash learning the whole swim thing. I swam this morning. I try to swim 2 or 3 times a week, but there's a very big difference between a pool swim and what they call an open water swim.
Oh, okay.
So this triathlon that I'm doing on the 13th is on Alaska. So the swim will be in Lake Livingston. You got to swim.
So it sounds dangerous to me. I mean, like the swim part. Everything else I can understand. So when you're out there swimming in this water that's choppy and rough, and you've been practicing in the swimming pool, what kind of safety precautions, etc.?
A lot of times, a lot of people will use a buoy, a small buoy that doesn't drag you down too much, but you can hold on to it if you get in trouble.
I got you.
But the triathlons are set up to where the swim is either in a pond or it's in a very protected place. So I know where this swim is. It's on 190 and on Alaska, and so it's pretty protected. And so I don't anticipate there being any current or any wind, but
We probably have people out there in boats too.
I think they do.
Something happens.
I'm sure they do. It's just
Yeah.
swimming's kind of intimidating.
So anyway, they have a half Ironman in Galveston coming up in March, and so
So we're with that.
that swim will be in Galveston Bay,
Galveston Bay.
and then that'll be 1.2 mile swim, a 56 mile bike ride, and a half marathon, 13.1 miles. So, and
Wow.
you've got to finish it in 8 hours.
Okay, next question. So when you're doing this kind of stuff, you have to load up your body on carbohydrates, right?
I'm still kind of in a low carb mode,
But how-
and I never was a big runner. I was a marginal athlete in high school, played football and baseball, but
You have to gear
you'd be
up.
surprised when you lose 80 pounds. You'd be surprised how much you can do and how much
You're not
stamina
looking all
you-
that way.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true too. You lost.
Yeah,
Like
so
a-
it's,
an anchor.
I figured it today, I've lost 30% of my body weight.
Wow.
So, and I feel great. I mean, and I recommend it. I mean, I know it's hard and I don't preach to anybody, but
Oh, it's hard.
when you're ready. I mean,
So, okay, I always use you as an example of mental toughness. Like if I'm in a foxhole, I want somebody that's mentally tough like you, because I've quit dipping and I know what that's like. But as difficult as that is, I think losing 80 pounds would be just way hard.
well, and I will
But you
say
can't go tough cold turkey. You still
That's what
have
I'm
to eat.
saying. You have to eat.
there are, and the only way, in my opinion, that it can be done is if you and your spouse do it together.
Exactly.
Only if only one of you does it, it's not going to work. And we've tried that, we've done that, and it just does not work. And so we've suffered together, and Tracy is fantastic, and she's wonderful because she's really supported me in my working out. I work out about 10 to 12 hours a week, which that's a lot. And
Well,
so
let's tell them about our Arkansas trips, what we do when we do that.
yeah, so now that I've been working out, we kind of plan our trips around hike and bike trails. So in mid-July, we went to Little Rock, Arkansas, and they have a fantastic hike and bike trail system. They have what they call the Arkansas Trail. It's a 17-mile track that goes around the city of Little Rock along the river, and you can actually go up into the mountains if you're inclined and can do that. And then recently we got back from, we went back just recently last week to Fayetteville, and they too, they have an infrastructure bike trails like no other. I mean, they really build their cities around the bikes.
That's
And
cool.
so anyway,
Is Tracy going to start riding with you?
I'm trying to get her, but I'm not pressuring her.
We'll see. When I'm ready, I'm ready.
Her problem
But-
is, so I work part-time, and so I've got 2 part-time jobs, and so the very hardest part is to try to find something to eat for lunch, when you're working, trying to grab something quick, and I never was one to bring my lunch. That's a pain, and wasn't a huge fan of leftovers, although now that I've been
We
on
do
this
a lot of
diet,
leftovers
we do
now.
a lot of leftovers, and you'd be surprised what you eat
So-
when you're hungry.
But that is a good tip, because what he will do is he'll go and he'll grill something really good. Steaks, sausages, grilled chicken, or grilled chicken fajitas, or
Well, we'll
whatever.
cook a brisket on the weekend, and I'll literally eat on it all week.
Okay,
Yeah,
and one of the differences for y'all though is he's a great cook.
right.
It's not like I'm putting, like my leftovers are crap. Stuff no one wants to eat when it's hot. So you have like
He does really good.
Yeah, we had stuff over at your house. This is like
Well, and then
killer
he'll
food.
make, for the vegetables, if you're on keto or low carb, you can do cheese. So he'll steam broccoli or cauliflower and then get the queso from HEB and just pour that over it. I mean, that's awesome. It tastes great. So it's not like you're dieting really bad. I mean,
Yeah.
and the other thing is, like you said, you have to have your spouse on board, because I'm more susceptible to cheating than he is. But I'll say, oh, I really want to eat that. He's like, well, I'm not going to eat it.
And actually,
So-
if you look, I've lost so much weight, I have to wear my finger on my index
Your
finger,
ring.
my ring on my index finger.
Yeah.
because I don't want to lose it. Especially like when I swim, it can come off. And so, after about 6 months, you change your lifestyle, and that's what you have to do. And I've known that it's just very difficult. And I've gone through times where I've lost 40 pounds over a 3-month period. And gained it back. But if you stay on it for 6 months, then you
You're more
will
like-
change your lifestyle, and the things that you like to eat before just won't have the same appeal. People ask me all the time, what do you miss most? Well, we've had Mexican food, and it's good, but I don't know.
You kind of feel bad after, like your body feels bad
Yeah.
after you start eating carbs again or sugar again. You're just like, ugh, I don't feel that great. So if you can stick with it, you'll notice that you will have energy if you do not have the carbs and the sugar. That is a big, big deal. So cut out the Cokes, cut out the carbs, cut out the bread, cut out the tortillas.
Yeah, we literally didn't eat any bread, we didn't eat any beans, no rice, no potatoes, all the good stuff we just didn't eat.
Yeah, if it
So,
tastes good, spit it out.
It was all,
basically.
and you can eat, the keto, for those of you who know, you can eat all the meat that you want, and we did, and we ate mainly broccoli and cauliflower and green beans, and we just had real simple meals,
Yeah.
and snacked on almonds and pecans and
Right.
pork rinds.
But we did not worry about, oh, is it a lean meat or is it, no. If you're on keto, you can eat a lot of fat.
Right.
Well, I did that
So we
with
didn't
Macy,
bring them back.
sort of. My daughter had a diet. My wife and myself and my daughter were on this diet. And the first week, I was like, what can I eat? Because everything,
Yeah.
after a while, meat's not enough.
Right,
Your body's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you want something
that
else.
meat's great, but I want that.
You really got to
pizza
get creative.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, if you go on Pinterest, there are a ton of keto and low carb versions of what you probably usually eat anyway. So,
But it needs to be a team. My point was my
Yeah.
wife and I did it for my dog,
right,
and there's no way she could have done it by herself.
right.
So, yeah,
That's true.
if you want to lose weight, I guess the big thing is be determined
Right,
and have somebody with you
yes,
that loves you and wants to go down that trail.
exactly.
Because
Doing it by yourself is no fun.
I don't see it. It's probably not possible.
It's not.
Yeah.
And you gotta cut out the alcohol. I mean, you can count the carbs and drink a little bit, but you will be more successful if you really cut out the alcohol, and you'll feel better. So,
But the good thing about prostate cancer, but when you get rid of your prostate, beer goes right through you.
right.
Yeah,
So,
it's like, well, I can't. I need to cut that out.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
So,
that-
see, you always get a good tip on the
yeah.
Tracy Williams
Well,
show.
yeah, I should have brought that up, but that's how it affected me anyway.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
true, isn't it?
yeah, I never seen anything quite like it. You drink a couple of beers, it's like, woo.
Go bathroom quick.
Yeah, for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's nothing good in all that anyway. The
Right.
sugars and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So, we're so glad you came on the show.
Thank you.
and we're so glad you're doing great. It looking
Yeah.
good.
I just got to keep it up.
Keep it up, and you gotta get me going.
Yeah, we got to keep it.
We
keep
gotta
it
keep going together.
I think we will. I mean,
You will.
I've worked too hard to let go back.
Yes.
So, and plus I don't have any clothes left. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thanks for joining us on the Tracy Williams Show, and we'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye bye.
Woohoo.